This is the Business of Apps podcast, bringing you actionable insights from the leaders of the global app industry and the world's fastest growing apps. You can find more app news, data and analysis over at businessofapps.com.
Welcome to Business of Apps podcast. On this show, we invite app industry professionals to cover various topics, and we promise to do our best to keep it both insightful but brief. In this episode, we have Ryan Thorpe, CMO at Reflectly. Ryan, welcome to the Business of Apps podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, let's set the stage first. Right, so you're looking at the number of daily and monthly active users for your app and wonder, gosh, is there a new app marketing channel that I'm missing? You've heard about TikTok. You know there's an advertising platform in TikTok called TikTok Ads, but you're not quite sure how to use it. And if there's actually any potential, is it capable to help you to grow your app user base? And this episode, we want to help you out. We've got Ryan to walk you through driving app installs with TikTok Ads. But before doing all that, let's kick off with introducing you, Ryan. Please tell us about yourself.
So I am the CMO of Reflectly. Reflectly started out as a simple journaling app. And it has expanded into a portfolio of health and wellness products to essentially build what we call the growth bundle, the Netflix of apps, all providing health, fitness, meditation, mindset apps to solve every single problem in your day-to-day life.
I bet it's quite, the demand should be great. I mean, not only because of COVID, but obviously that's one of the, the reason for, the huge popularity of apps like that. But I would assume even, after COVID, we're still living in a pretty dynamic and complicated world where an apps like that should be handy.
Yes. So the mental fitness space is one of the largest growing spaces on the App Store at the moment. New trends such as breathing and meditating and being mindful in your day-to-day life is really at the forefront of people's lives nowadays.
Right, and I would imagine the app shouldn't have any boundaries. I mean, geographical boundaries, because we're all the world is really interconnected. So it's just a matter of going international, adapting your app for a different country, different market. And basically, the need is still there, no matter China, yes, Japan, Ukraine, Norway, whatever.
Yeah, we all suffer from mental health problems or illnesses, or even just struggling to get up in the morning. And if you can believe that a tool can solve that problem for you, and it does fix that problem, your life naturally is going to improve.
Yeah, I can personally attest that on Monday morning, that's the case for sure. Ryan, how would you describe, let's get to the major topic for the conversation of today. How would you describe the process of creating an ad campaign on TikTok Ads? Is there anything that, having your experience of running multiple campaigns now, that you wish you knew when you were creating your first campaign? Anything people should pay attention to?
Sure. I think generally speaking, the algorithm, the algorithm and the way that TikTok targets is becoming more and more powerful. Similarly, in the past, especially on places like Meta, Facebook, Instagram, being a media buyer and being extremely targeted with your ad campaigns, such as interest audiences, etc., used to be how you gain the advantage. Now, how you gain the advantage is via the creative that you make, and the targeting is less important. So we run multiple ads, multiple experiments, and most of our targeting is just broad. As long as you target kind of the range of the type of customer that you're aiming for, 18 to 30, 40 to 50, and the gender, that's in most cases, that's kind of all you need to get yourself going. At the beginning, trying to do too many tests on different audience sets is probably not the best idea for the sake of your capital. You'll get some really good ideas and results quite quickly with just a broad tested audience when you're first setting up a TikTok ad campaign.
So to me, this situation seems like, because the world famous ATT framework from Apple that was introduced last spring, this year Google joining the forces with this sandbox framework, and the whole system of collecting information about users going through a significant change, and the precise targeting becomes less doable, right? So,
Exactly.
and TikTok kind of they're in the right moment in the right place when the potential of the platform, it's how viral its content is really helpful to still be able to find your audience, grow your user base, even when the precise targeting is not an option anymore, at least for now. Let's focus on creatives a little bit. We previously would talk to people who were running ad campaigns with the influencers on TikTok, and obviously, like the whole thing was about creating really natural, authentic content for TikTok, something that you pick up the phone and for sure, even without seeing the logo, this is the one that was published on TikTok. So when it comes to creating an effective video content for TikTok ads, would you say something similar? What people should know about it?
I think some important key variables that you've got to take into consideration is the first 3 seconds are the hook for how you're going to make them stop scrolling. We all have fallen down those TikTok rabbit holes where we just keep swiping, and it's got to take something very powerful that we can relate to, that surprises us, that makes us stop and listen. That is going to help, which is what's going to increase the likelihood that they're going to watch 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and beyond. If you can stop them in their tracks and make them watch, that will increase TikTok's feeling to share that to more people. And you'll be able to know that when you kind of run the app, when you run that against the app, we run it as an advert, you'll be able to see that in its click-through rate, in its watch time, in its lower cost per click, and lower CPM prices. But the first and the key part is the first 3 seconds. After that, it's looking to be very quick and speedy in the number of frames that you deliver within a advert. So you don't want to just capture their attention for 3 seconds and then talk to them about your product for a minute. You want to capture their attention for 3 seconds and make them understand exactly what you are, what you're trying to do, the lifestyle that this product, service, app is giving somebody for about 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, it's diminishing returns after that. So a lot of frames, first 3 second hooks, and make people understand the lifestyle and what they're going to feel and be and act once they use that product.
You have to impress them with your product.
100%. In one word, you've got to impress, but don't make them think that you're showing off your product, which is a key part. It's become now subtle product placement, but not going overboard about advertising, saying this is this that does this. Sometimes it's just being subtle about it and integrating into a creator's everyday life, and hooking them at the beginning is enough to just get people to stop, make it look authentic and real, because no one creates an authentic video that seems like an ad.
That's totally true. Yeah.
That's the new way of thinking that you kind of as a marketer have to get around. Don't create an ad, create a video that shows off the product, but then hopefully they love what you're doing so much, you've got a big button at the bottom that they're going to click on to figure out what that product is all about.
Got it. Don't overkill. Don't overkill. That's
Do not overkill.
okay. Obviously, TikTok ads is just one more platform for paid acquisition for mobile. Platforms for paid acquisition existed before. Right now, we have the suite of Google ads, Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Pinterest, Instagram, which is part of Facebook ads, but still, this is the distinctive big chunk of paid acquisition landscape. When people are jumping on TikTok ads, and up till now they've been using Facebook ads or Meta ads, if you want to call Facebook Meta. What's the difference? Is it pretty much similar, really close, better, worse, or just familiar for people that would be really easy to use?
Is this in terms of the creatives on each platform, or
Yep.
just the usage of the ad platform?
Just the platform, the usage, like the following through the steps, creating the campaign, how easy to use, how straightforward it is.
I think in the beginning, Facebook developed a very complicated system because it had the data and the targeting and the knowledge of the algorithm to be as complicated as possible so that you could get the most specific user to your specific product for a specific objective. Now, with the lack of tracking and the ability for Facebook to have actually adapted to that because of iOS 14 and the different tracking systems that have now blocked all of this, Facebook is finding it extremely difficult to turn the Titanic, is kind of a way of saying it.
Right.
They've built such a robust product that they thought would last almost a lifetime. And one big iceberg being iOS 14 has completely shooken up the entire Facebook Meta advertising ability, which means media buyers are quite ruthless as well. As soon as the money stops working on a platform, we look elsewhere. Whoever gives us the best users and the cheapest price, and the platform works, that's what we're going for. And TikTok has solved for that for particular advertisers and particular products very, very well. And even though the complexity is much lower than Meta, you actually don't want high complexity anymore, because the complexity comes in the creative, which is the beforehand, before you actually then start running the ads. So the complexity is transferred from being the media buying side to actually winning the creative battle, which requires a whole new type of skill set, a whole new way to analyze performance in advertising. But I've just found, me personally, I've moved a lot of my budget away from Meta. The tracking also takes longer to come back through, even if it does have a 48-hour, 72-hour window, and you have to test something and you don't know if it works until much later, which can be risky if you're spending high budgets. So
right,
it is for trying to figure out ways to solve for this and releasing new updates, but it's being cannibalized quite heavily by TikTok, who are working. It's all working to their advantage.
Speaking of looking at the performance of your campaign overall and keeping your hand on the pulse of your campaign, what major KPIs that marketers should be tracking for their ad campaign TikTok ads?
Sure. So it depends how you run your ads. You can run your ads as just pure app install campaigns, or you can run them as web campaigns, which is one step before, but you can still run that, and you can still track that in App Store Connect later down the road. So what you need to be looking for on the metrics generally are the question you're trying to ask yourself is this creative going viral? By putting ad spend behind this creative, is it getting better the more I spend money on it? And what I mean by that is, when you're spending money and it's $20 and you're getting 0.6% click-through rate, you're getting really high cost per click, and you're getting really high CPMs, that's a red flag to think this creative does not work. However, if you're spending $20 to $100 and you're getting 2, 3, 4% click-through rate, which shows super highly engaged, you're getting a low cost per click because more people are clicking for it at a lower CPM. So 1,000 people are watching it, X% much higher are clicking on it, and then they're going to either your landing page to then go download your app, which you can do if you've got a web-based app service already set up as well, so you can use the advantages of paying outside of Apple that way. But moving over from that, then another metric that TikTok offers you is conversion rate percentage. So whatever the objective you have at the end, let's say it's a button click, let's say it's a download or an install, TikTok can tell you the conversion rate of that advert. So it can say people clicked on the advert, went to a page, clicked on a button. The conversion rate of the amount of people that went through and clicked was X%. So if the video delivers the correct message, hooks correctly, is super engaging, everyone's going to click on it, be super engaged, and want to follow through the funnel to get to the point where they download your app. So there are a few metrics, but ultimately it comes down to looking at what metrics relate to the engagement of the creative from the beginning.
So pretty familiar landscape of KPIs, all makes sense, all on par with, what marketers should know about the running campaigns for driving, for growing user base and ultimately increasing the revenue of your app project.
Of course.
Now, is there something you keep hearing about TikTok as an advertising platform? You believe it's just a hype?
That is a good question. Perhaps people feel like the hype around TikTok is at the moment is it's easy to go viral. I don't think it's easy to go viral. However, there is a math to going viral. People think that after 5 to 10 videos, they should have hit a winning creative style. What you need to do is throw 20, 30, 40, 50 videos at TikTok to really understand why there is hype about things going viral, because it's like sort of Instagram back in the early days. You have such high potential for your videos to go viral and to reach a mass audience, but everyone else is trying to also throw a lot of videos at the wall and see what works. And for you to compete, you need to also do that.
Right. So different platform, different team behind, but the same people who are interacting with this platform from the different angle. The time frame is different. It's not 2020, 2012 anymore when that Instagram was taken off.
And another initial point on that is that people think that you have to catch trends before they're trends. So there's a lot of hype around a certain trend that's happening. If you've already seen that and a lot of people have already made videos, you're probably a little bit too late to the hype of the trend. So trying to be in the ecosystem of TikTok and recognizing patterns in what videos are capturing attention can really help you in your creative framework or design to help you build better adverts. So noticing trends earlier before they're hype is a point as well.
Yeah, don't be a copycat, because the thing you're trying to imitate is already gone viral and somebody else is reaping the benefits. To be innovative, find your own thing. Now, based on your extensive experience of running campaigns on TikTok ads, what would you like to be improved for the platform? What would you like to be better?
Sure. So I speak quite regularly to TikTok account managers, and I throw some ideas of things I like. I like to beta test a bunch of different things. So I remember when we were working with Meta and the different Facebook ad platforms, they've got a bunch of great tools within their ads platform that allows you to edit or customize the type of ads that go out. So what I mean by that is there were moments where in Facebook, we used to have a trick where we would create poll adverts, or we would create, and for context, what that means is it's an advert on a story that you could attach a poll to that people could vote on. And that would increase engagement on the ads, which means it would be served to more people, which means it would drive more downloads for us. And then another one was, it was kind of either like a question, and they had to like answer or reply to that question. And very recently, TikTok has added this feature, but it's not it's only for beta testers, and it's kind of like under optimized at the moment. But essentially, you take your main video and you can add on graphics or stickers or pictures or questions or polls onto that video to make people stop and answer your question and engage. So there's small features that I would love for TikTok to bring in to encourage that. And then there's other areas like the explore page, specific advertising, or find it easier to jump on hashtag trends, or the searchability of certain videos. All of that would enhance the TikTok ads platform. But yeah, ultimately being able to creatively improve the ad.
Hopefully all these things in their pipeline. Fingers crossed. The app industry is vast. To navigate this space, you need a directory to look up suppliers and partners, and you need to know who are the best. Visit our marketplace directory at businessofapps.com/marketplace/podcast. And now, back to the show. Now, we've covered the major topic on the table, and there are only a few more questions. And I ask in this second segment of the show to every guest I invite. And these are just quick ones. And here we go. Question number one. What smartphone do you have now? Have you been switching between these, two giants, iOS and Android, or just staying one side all the time?
I've always been iOS. I just my dad is Android, but the rest of the family is iOS. And we haven't really changed.
Got it. Let's jump back in time before iPhone. What was your first mobile phone?
I'm pretty sure it was one of those Nokia 3310s, one of those brick phones, the ones that the battery lasts longer than a Tesla. Like you could throw it out a window and it would bounce off the floor and still work. And I used to play Snake on that. Snake was always that's how I got through certain classes, always something like that.
Yeah, the Snake game will be in the history, in the textbooks,
Yes, for sure.
for years. Now, imagine you've left your smartphone at home right now, for whatever reason. What would be the most missing feature when you're out?
One missing feature when I'm out would be unfortunately Slack, because if I don't have Slack on my phone, I can't answer quickly to business related questions to employees, to co-workers, etc. And that would put us as a business behind. I can answer quickly, I can react quickly. That's from a professional standpoint. I would be lost without the ability to message that quickly. From a personal standpoint, probably WhatsApp or any sort of messaging platform, just to keep in touch with family, friends, people, where I'm going, or Google Maps, because or Uber bikes, because I cycle a lot in London, and hiring a bike saves me a ton of time, and you need your phone to do that as well.
And it's really healthy to cycle a bike. I can attest to that for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Now let's imagine if you have a chance to improve your iPhone with one extra feature, it could be software, hardware. What then thing would be for you? What would you like Apple to add to the phone to make it better for you, more useful? Not trendy, not hypey thing, but something for you.
So there's this one app that I use at the moment quite heavily called Time Tree, and Time Tree integrates with your calendars, and you can share that calendar with your friends to organize dinners, parties, picnic, etc., things to do. And you can see other people's schedule and what they're up to, so that you can plan in advance and know when people have a free moment to do something with you. Now that is a great app, but I could imagine Apple integrating kind of maybe the calendar app that they already have, and being able to have a more engaged relationship with people who also use iPhones. In this way, for example, we have iMessage. If they had like iCalendar for friends, something super simple where you could connect everyone else who has an iPhone, connect to that calendar, tell them what they're up, tell me what you're up to over the next couple of weeks. And then I know when I can pre-plan things with different friendship groups, different running groups, workout groups, climbing groups. And that way we can kind of maintain community. And I find everyone's so busy in London these days, where I'm from, but big city people are always busy. So knowing what people are up to is a great way, and understanding the space between that would be a great app or a great improvement for what I think would happen with Apple or iPhones.
Got it. And obviously it should be simple. If I'm quoting correctly, somebody who was writing a book about Apple, that doing things hard is simple, doing things simple is hard. This is what Apple is, really good at, and that feature will be really great for your, communication with friends. Before I let you go, just very final question: how can people get in touch with you and get more information about what you do?
You can probably just message me on LinkedIn. You can also send me an email, ryan@reflectly.app. But yeah, my LinkedIn is Ryan J. Thorpe. Connect with me, send me an email, send me a message. I'm super responsive on there. And I prefer to talk over chat than over emails. I feel like it's just so much more informal and easy.
Gotcha, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show and being with us for this 30 minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And that was Ryan Thorpe, CMO at Reflectly. To listen to more episodes, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. Just search for Business of Apps and you will be able to find us easily. We release episodes every Monday, so subscribe and you will get the episode on your smartphone, tablet, or computer as soon as we release it. And please don't forget to leave us a review or comment on iTunes. It is highly appreciated. And all episodes will also be available on businessofapps.com. Thank you for listening. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Business of Apps podcast. For more, head on over to businessofapps.com.